Okay, this is finding slope worksheet. Okay, we first did this assignment on the 26th. So we're gonna go through here, but first, before we start, I wanna remind you guys, we're not doing these. You don't have to give us the equation yet. We'll get to that later. And we are omitting the last three on the paper, 20, 21, and 22. Don't do those. And if you wanna do it for practice, that's fine, but it's not for extra credit either, so it's up to you. Okay, first directions say, use the tables to determine the slope of the represented linear relationship. The independent variable is listed on the left, which is the normal way of doing it, and the dependent variable is listed on the right. So there we go. Okay, it's really important to know that, and it's typical that independent is going to be on the left, being x, and dependent, or the y, will be on the right. Okay, remember, you only need two ordered pairs, meaning two x's and the two y's that go with those x's. Once we do that, it's pretty straightforward, okay? We have to look over here and see, how's my y changing? Well, it's going from 18 to 20. It's getting bigger by 2, so that's a positive 2. The x is getting from 5 to 6, getting bigger by 1, so it's a positive 1, okay? Now remember, when we make our fraction, the y value, the Roy D value, is always on top, and the Dixie, or the x value, is always on bottom. Remember when we showed the Chick-fil-A cows, Roy D's painting up and down. He's standing on top of Dixie, who's walking left and right. Okay? So this is my Roy D number. On the bottom is my Dixie number. 2 divided by 1 is 2. So the slope for number 1 is 2. Alright, you can go ahead and do this one on your own. I'm going to do both of the special cases because there have been a lot of questions on those. Okay, we do everything the same way. Okay, check out my y. I'm going from 10 to 12. It's getting bigger by 2, positive 2. But over here, it's the same number all the way across. Okay, all the way down. So my change, as a result, is 0. It's not changing. Remember, we always do our change in y, or our Roy D number, divided by our change in x. Okay? That gives me 2 divided by 0. When you put that in the calculator, and I do recommend you put it in the calculator, especially when you're dealing with 0, because a lot of people just look at that and they say, oh, the answer is 0. But take a look. 2 divided by 0 in the calculator gives you undefined. On the notes, the undefined meant that it was a vertical line, straight up and down line. Here's the notes page we went over, okay? It's a straight up and down line when you have an undefined slope. Okay, so your answer is actually the word undefined. Whenever you see that, a picture in your mind is straight up and down line, a vertical line. Okay, number 4, we will also do, it is not undefined. We are dealing with a 0 here, but now it's on the y end, okay? 99 cents all the way down. There's no change, so my number, my change in my y is 0. For x, 12 to 16, my change is, it's going up 4, right? So now when I do my change in y divided by my change in x, it's 0 divided by 4. It's not the same thing as when 0 is in the denominator. Now 0 is on top, and you can put that in, 0 divided by 4, it just gives you 0, okay? So that is this one. The example we looked at on the bottom left. That's a horizontal line. A 0 slope just looks like a flat, boring horizontal line. An undefined slope looks like a vertical line. All right, so there's those two. Okay, out of these, I'm going to remind you, you always look at it going left to right. This is going downhill. Your answer here is going to be negative, okay? This is going uphill, so your answer to this one and number 7 will both be positive. Okay, now I'm going to go through, I'm going to do number 7, and you can do the other ones on your own, but I'm going to give you some hints. When it's downhill, what I will do for you is I'm going to fill in the points. The friendly points is what I call them. Now, the points that you choose to fill in are the ones that are at the 4 corners. If I zoom in, you can see I wouldn't want to pick here, that's right in the middle of space. I wouldn't want to pick here, that's right on a line, but I need the ones on the 4 corners, such as that one, and so on, okay? Once you get the four corners, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and do this one. Once you get all the points that you can find, then you do your counts. You do your y count first, which is up and down. In this case, it's down because I have a negative slope. So I'm going to count how many down, and then for my x count, I count how many to the right. And a good hint to follow is to always count to the right for x, because we're always going left to right. So I go down and right, down and right. How many down? I count my jumps, 1, 2, 3. Negative 3 is my ROI D, or my y, my change in y. And then I get down to the line with the next point, but now I need to jump over to that point, and that is 2 jumps to the right. So negative 3 over 2 is my slope for number 5. Okay? Let's do number 6, and I'll leave number 7 for you guys to do. I'm going to find my friendly points. There's a good one right on the four corners. Here's another one. Here's another one. And there's another one. So it's positive. I know it's positive. So I'm going to count up first for my y change, and then right for my x change. To get to the next line where my next point is, I'm only jumping 1. So my top number is 1. And then how many jumps to the right to get to that point? 2 jumps. To know for sure that you have the right slope, if you keep doing the pattern, you should stay on the line. Up 1, 2 to the right. Up 1, 2 to the right. I'm on the line every time. So it is a slope of positive 1/2. You can go ahead and do the number 7 on your own. Every point, it goes through the four corners every time. So that should be easy. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the next section. Use the 2 points to determine the slope of the represented linear function and show your work. Okay, so let's go ahead and do number 8. The good news is all of these are basically the same as what you've already done. I'm going to pick 8, and then I'm going to pick a harder looking one that has negative numbers. So we'll do like 8 and 12. Number 8, what I'm going to do is just rewrite this in a table. I have an x value of 2 and a y of 1 across from it. I have an x value of 5 and a y of 7 across from it. Now I made my own table. It looks just like the ones I did over here. I'm going to see how my y is changing. Going from 1 to 7, it went up 6. Right? From 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and how did my x's change? From 2 to 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. It went up 3. It's always my change in y over my change in x. 6 over 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So my slope here is 2. Let's do number 12. We have some negative numbers, but it's basically all the same steps. Negative 1 and positive 3. And then negative 3 and positive 5. Okay, I do my change in y. I go from 3 to 5, so it goes up 2. And then here I'm dealing with negatives. I have to look at it a little more carefully. From negative 1 to negative 3, it's actually getting smaller, right? It's becoming more and more negative, so it's getting smaller. So that is a change, a negative change. It's a minus 2. So my top number is 2. My bottom number is negative 2. 2 divided by negative 2 is negative 1. So I have a slope of negative 1 for that one. Okay? You can do the rest of those on your own. Let's go to the back. Remember, we're not doing these, and remember, the words that can help you find the slope are per, each, and every. Strangely enough, it spells P, but you know, whatever works to help you remember. When you find that word in a word problem, there's a very good chance, sorry, let me zoom out. There's a very good chance the slope number is right beside it, okay, or real close to it. John earns $8.50 per hour at the Math R Us Superstore. $8.50 is my slope. It's that easy. Sandra has a 24-inch candle, and it decreases 2 inches in height every, there's the word every, hour it burns. Which number is closer to every? It's the 2. 2 is my slope. Jay pays a $50 membership fee to join a gym, and $10 every time he goes to the gym. So there's 2 numbers, but which one's closer to my word every? the $10. That's my slope. It's that easy, guys. Now, sometimes you have to look at it a little more closely if there's more than one of these words in there. But for the most part, it works. You just have to look at the context. Connor earned $560 this summer doing odd jobs and spends $25 each week. The word each. And what's closest to it? The 25. There you go. Okay, number 18. Use the graph to determine the slope of the linear function. So here's my graph. All right. What's my slope? Well, we've already done this a few times. It's going to be negative because it's going downhill. So I know it's negative, which means my y counts are downwards. I always like to make my x counts to the right. To go from this point to this point, down 2, and then 3 jumps to the right. So my slope is negative 2/3. Okay, now I'm going to let you guys do this one. Just fill in, get the ordered pairs for that point, put them here. Ordered pairs for that point, put it here. Ordered pairs for that point, put it here. Okay, and then you'll be done because we're not doing the bottom.